Day 3 of OTAs, got a bunch of stuff to talk about, so let's jump into this. What is up, Fin fans? Yes, day 3 of OTAs is in the books. First week of OTAs in the books. Media was not available. I do have some tidbits here and there for you guys, but overall, yes, first week in the books. So let's jump into it. Before we do that, though, I don't know why I said let's jump into it before we go into that stuff. I have to shout out a new patron, and I'm surprised I think I got this name right. Chancellor Reinhardt. Thank you so much for joining the Patreon. Again, if you feel like you want to join the Patreon, it's linked below. They are cool perks, videos specific for the Patreon over there. And if you want to be a member, hit the join button next to the subscribe button. You get cool perks and videos as well there. So now, let's jump into this. Not cutting any of that mess up out. So yeah, today, day 3 of the OTAs, closed off to the media, so we don't really have as much info as we did on Tuesday. I have some videos that I'm popping up of them working out, training, and all that stuff, and all that good stuff. But I have this video here of Tua hitting Trent Sherfield on, it looks like to me, a deep pass. I'm watching it right now as I'm talking to you. Tua looks pumped. Nice throw. Looks like, again, it's zoomed in too far, so we can't really see. But nice deep pass, nice ball placement. I had him running down the field. Again, wide open. I know some people are going to say, it's OTAs, it doesn't really mean anything. It's still nice to see. It's nice to see that. It's also nice to hear so many people, not just Tua fans, because you know Barry Jackson's a big Tua fan. You know, some of these guys, Safin Deed is a big Tua fan. But some of these guys are also skeptics of Tua coming out and saying, there's a big difference from what they're seeing in Tua this offseason compared to the past 2 offseason. They said there's a big difference in his arm strength, his command of the offense, and his passing. Now, again, we've heard this before, but I haven't heard this from the other types of beat writers. Even Omar Kelly came out and said he's noticing a big difference. But again, this is OTAs. They're literally in light jerseys, shorts, helmets. They're not really going through the whole full trial of training camp. That's where we're really going to see it, and then the preseason. But it's encouraging. Regardless if you are a Tua fan or not a Tua fan, it is super encouraging to hear progress. Like, if you're not a Tua fan, you should still be happy about this. You should be happy that you're going to be wrong about him being a bust and him being gone and yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. Because that means that the team found a cheaper quarterback and we're able to win with that guy. And we're able to use our first 5 picks in the next 3 rounds next year on other needs besides a quarterback and trading up and all that stuff. So very promising. I'm excited to see it for a person, you know, with my own eyes. Again, I'm not going to be at training camp this year, but it's still be able to see it, especially in games. I'm very excited for that. But that's essentially what I got for you from OTAs today. Again, let's close off to the media and everything, so we don't have much. All we really have is what was given out from the Miami Dolphins in video form. The other thing I want to talk about, Melvin Ingram's contract details. And if you look here, it's essentially a 1-year, $4 million contract with a 1.65 signing bonus, average salary, again, 4 years, guaranteed at signing $3.2 million. But if you look at it, there's a lot of incentives. There's a lot of bonuses. There's he can make up to $5 million when it comes to, here, I'll even pull up the tweet, when it comes to play time, all that stuff. So again, 1.65 signing bonus, 1.67 base salary, $680K in pre-game roster bonuses, $440K per game. He gets an extra $250,000 if he gets to the Pro Bowl, up to $750,000 for playtime, sacks, and all that incentives. But if you look at what he's being charged, it's only $3.9 million, or roughly $4 million. I wasn't that far off. I said give him about a year for $3 million, and they did, with a ton of incentives. So I honestly love his contract. I think it's perfect. I think the way they set it up with the incentive base and all that stuff, because he does have, he's been banged up a little bit. He is 33, but I love it. Absolutely love that. So I wanted to talk about that real quick. I will get to comment of the day, but there was an article that Barry Jackson put out, and in the article, he wrote, Hill and Waddle are nightmares for opposing coaches, NFL coaches discussing how to defend it. And I thought that was super interesting, right? So go check out the full article. Barry Jackson, awesome at these articles. He says NFL teams are mulling how to defend Miami's new electrifying tandem in Waddle and Tyreek Hill. And Coach Cliff Kingsbury says that's exactly what I thought. They have two guys like that who can take the top off. That's what I thought of. That's going to be hard to deal with. That was a huge when they landed him. This is what John Harbaugh said of the Baltimore Ravens very carefully. You have to. Those are two great players, and you have to really give it some thought. Ron Rivera said the biggest thing is depending on what a defense does. You got to take away what they do best. If one of them is better short runner and really excels at quick passes, you have to be able to take that away. And I absolutely love that that these opposing defensive coaches and the opposing coaches in general are like, great. We have Tyreek Hill on one side. We're going to have Jalen Waddle on the other side. They might underestimate Wilson. So all of a sudden he's got that over-the-top speed. Mike Gesicki you also have to defend. You have Edmonds coming out of the backfield, another guy that you have to defend. And then Sony Michel is a great runner. Again, almost had 1,000 yards. So it makes me so happy that this offense finally has talent on it that is making the opposing defenses worry. Because I think for the past 2 years, it got to a point in the season where the wide receivers were all banged up and we were running with second and third string wide receivers. The run game was non-existent. So all they really had to do was pin their ears back, get after the quarterback, and just make sure that the receivers don't beat you over the top, because they ain't going to run the ball on us. So you don't have to put that many in the box. Just drop them all back into coverage, send four at them. Their offensive line can't stop anything, and they ain't running the ball. Now all of a sudden, you can't do that. Now all of a sudden, it's a different dynamic, especially with this offense, because now you have to worry about, okay, you have these shallow crossing routes, whether it's Hill or Waddle or whatever, but then you also might have Gesicki doing a corner route, a post route. You might have Wilson doing a go route. All of a sudden, you have to concentrate on all these things. You can't play too high safety, or you have to play too high safety. I'm not saying you can, but you can't do single high safety is what I meant to say, because you're going to get burned. You really have to take these things into consideration. And these opposing defenses and these opposing coaches are taking this into consideration. Once the Dolphins traded for Tyreek Hill, a lot of people, opposing teams, especially the Jets and all these guys who wanted to try to land Tyreek Hill, are like, whoa, it's not going to do anything because blah, blah, blah. That's not what the coaches are saying. That's what people who actually understand the way football works are saying. This offense just got a huge boost. Now, if the run game can just produce like it should, going to be very, very, very interesting. And that's the last thing I want to talk about in this video, right? I showed you some videos. I gave you a little deep dive into Melvin Gordon's contract. Give you a little talking point about the, opposing defenses got worried when the Dolphins traded for Tyreek Hill. Now, I read all your comments. Regardless if I put a heart next to it or not, I am reading every single one of your comments. I probably shouldn't, but I do read every single one of your guys' comments. And yesterday's video where I ranked the running back / run game, some of you guys are saying, yeah, do it that way. Some of you guys are saying, do the running backs individually. So I might do both in the next one, because the next one's going to be wide receivers. Some of you guys were genuinely upset that I had the Dolphins ranked 4th. And some of you guys were like, you're going off of last year. How are you going to rank this year off of last year? And I see where you're coming from, right? Totally see where you're coming from. It was hard to rank them, because the reason why I wanted to rank them now is because the teams are pretty much full. Like, the teams are what the teams are going to be. But even what I went off of is not necessarily the Dolphins' production last year. I gave you those stats to kind of help you in my decision making. I had multiple criteria that I came to with ranking them, right? Because not only did I do the Dolphins of last year, but if you look at what Edmonds and you looked at what Mostert did last year, and even with now Sony Michel being brought in, the production from the opposing running backs was a little bit more. The production from Harris, the production from Singletary, the production from the Jets running back, his name's slipping, was a little bit more, and that was just one guy. And that's where my thought process was. Their offensive line was better. The offensive line is still the same on all of those other three teams, whereas we added the two guys, but we still have to hope that the other two parts of this offensive line will be as productive to allow this run game to continue. And then can Mike McDaniel do his magic? Whereas that's the question mark with the Dolphins, whereas the other teams already are the same as they were last year. And that was my thought process in putting the Dolphins fourth, because there's a lot of question marks going into the season on the run game and the running backs. Whereas with the Jets, the Bills, and the Patriots, there's no question marks. It's the same team with the same style of running game. See where I'm coming from? Some of you guys thought, I think one person said, you being a Dolphin content creator, I would expect more from you. I did so much research. I do so much research on all my videos. I'm not going to just give favoritism to the Dolphins and rank the Dolphins higher because I'm a Dolphins fan. That's biased stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to spoil it, but wait till you see the wide receiver, the tight ends, the cornerback rankings. All of a sudden, you're going to be like, oh, I see. I like these, Doug. Why didn't you do the other ones like these? But most of you guys got it. Like, there was one comment that made me happy where kind of broke it down. Let me see if I can find it. It was Ben W. He said the plethora of posts saying, duh, you're just basing it off of last year. Even when Doug assesses the current signing in the video and gives his reasons is both fascinating and maddening. Seems like many people have no concept of what an assessment actually is, i.e. it's neither a review nor a prediction. Which is ironic to me because the assessment Doug has done in these videos is exactly where the team has to start from in training camp. But for some reason, it's seen as hearsay by some to do that in any ranking video. And I appreciate that, Ben, because you understand. And there's multiple. Russell gets it. Steven gets it. Like, I'm looking at some of these comments. Majority, I would say 90% of you get it. But there was a few that didn't understand where I was coming from, and that's where I'm talking about it now. I'm not bashing anyone. I'm just trying to clarify my ranking system. But I also was I confused myself, and a lot of you guys helped me. Like, I was like, should I do the run game or should I do individual running backs? And a lot of you guys wanted both. So I hope I cleared that up for you guys, because I think I was confused as much as you guys were confused. So I appreciate you guys. Again, keep commenting. I love reading your comments. It helps me steer my videos into the way they should be. Because I'll start a series and I'll end up over here, and then I'll start to steer one way. And then you guys are like, do this or do that. And I start to steer it, and then boom, I get it where it should be. And you guys love it. So keep commenting. I love reading your guys' comments. The channel is the way it is. It looks the way it is because of you guys. And I take your criticisms seriously. But that's the video today. I think I got a video planned for you guys tomorrow. Maybe I'll do the wide receivers tomorrow. Maybe that will make you guys happy. I'll do the wide receiver rankings tomorrow. I was planning on doing them next week. But I appreciate you guys. Like I said, appreciate your feedback. Appreciate your comments. All that good stuff. But that's the video. OTAs. OTAs start again next week. It is Monday, Tuesday, Thursday again for OTAs. And then mandatory minicamp is the 1st and the 2nd of June. So that's going to be interesting because the veterans will have to be there. But other than that, guys, like usual, stay classy. Love y'all. Keep commenting. Fins up.